Hello, I am Yogini Sunita, and this is Meditation, Yoga, and Stuff podcast. I believe my dharma or my life's purpose is to share my understanding of meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda, holistic healing science of India. I make these amazing wisdoms accessible and adaptable for present times. So let's start. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today I'm going to talk about relaxation and why it is important to have relaxation in our life. We, as a human being, we want to do a lot of stuff. We want to enjoy our life. We want to constantly move. But also there has to be this balance of movement and relaxation together. Now, if we do too much of anything, that's not going to be beneficial for us. So we need to have that balance. And yoga gives us that balance. Yoga also gives us a lot of relaxation techniques. Now, why do we need it? Why do we need relaxation? I know some of my friends say that, I will rest when I die and things like that. Now, yes, I know that we want to do and achieve stuff and constantly, in this modern world, we want to experience everything. And that is understandable. What happens that though, when we are into that constant go state, when we do not give our body to recharge and renew our body, mind, our energy system, if we don't give this option of recharge and renew, then we get stress overload. This overloads our body. That stress creates a lot of side effects. And everyone reacts to the stress differently. Everyone will, this is due to our sanskaras or our patterns from childhood, like how we lived our life, what information we grasped, and then we will react to the stress accordingly. Now, this reaction to the stress, it can create, maybe there's so many ways we, as a human being, we can react. We can, there is no one specific answer for reaction of stress. So it could manifest on the body because our body is slow mind. So whatever stress we have in our mind, it's going to affect our body anyway. And over the period of time, what happens that the overload of stress, we simply do not get this opportunity to relax. In fact, we almost forget how to relax. And that's very common in modern life, that happens. In the wild though, let's take example of a deer. If deer hears something, it will lift its head, look around, it's quite tense. And then when it realizes that there is nothing to worry about, it goes back to its grazing the grass. But before that, the deer will shake its body. And doing that, it just get rid of that tension in the body, that stress from the body, and it continue to start grazing. Now, this is what the coping mechanism deer have. As a human being, we don't do that. We let's take example of a meeting. A person goes to a meeting. The boss, the person has to present something in relation to the to some project, and they're quite stressed about it. They, without realizing the stress in the system, and the presentation maybe goes well or not well, doesn't matter. But after the presentation, they maybe do not relax, or maybe able to relax for a few moments, but then over the period of time, this constant cycle of going into tension, and it happens anywhere. It could happen when we are driving to the work, when we are, attending a meeting, presenting, project, things like that. Like there are so many reasons this could happen, and this whole as a human being, if we don't have coping mechanism to address this stress, then what we are going to do is we're going to store it in our body. And over the period of time, the body just is into that stress response. It is not relaxing at all. So there is always that fight or flight response. There is no relaxation response, there rest or digest response. And this is where we as a human being is into mostly into that sympathetic mode. And this sympathetic mode creates a lot of maybe a lot of unhealthy things happen in our system. The chemical reaction to the stress creates so much of ill health in our system. So stress is almost number one reason of ill health now in this modern world, and we need to acknowledge that, accept that. Once we accept that, now what do we do with it? Okay, so stress is there, it's going to be there, that's the nature. That's the nature. We are living in this modern world. There's constantly something or the other. And sometimes I know that some people say that they need stress in life to perform better. And I totally understand that. It can be very productive if this right amount of stress is there. But we also need to have a right amount of relaxation opportunities for our system. If you start noticing that you're not sleeping well or on time, then you need to think on, okay, what I need to change here. How can I bring more relaxation before I go to sleep? So kind of like start tuning into that. Understanding how to decrease the effects of the stress, because stress is going to be there. So we acknowledge that, we understand that. And it may have some good effects on our system. So with the stress, there is that thrill of working. There is that, it creates, it can have positive effect, but we need to let it go as well. So how do we let it go? And this is where yoga understood this. The wisdom, the ancient yogis understood this very well. So we think that they are ancient, but not really, because from the bigger picture point of view, not much time has passed. We as a human has not really evolved that much. And at that time, ancient, as we call it, ancient time, the yogis realized that our mind needs extra effort to find relaxation. And then there are beautiful relaxation techniques which we can use. So there is also physical movement with the balance of relaxation, which is called Savasana in yoga class, which basically means corpse pose, but it takes us to guided relaxation, can give us a really beautiful stress relief. Now, what happens when we are doing Savasana is this relaxation technique, we travel through all parts of the body. So we lie down, try not to move as much as possible, and we focus on different parts of the body and allow that part to relax. Now, how many times in our day-to-day life do we pay attention to each and every part of our body? And these correct relaxation techniques are designed in such a way that the certain parts of the brain are activated. So these relaxation techniques, you actually activate all parts of your brain. At the same time, you find a relaxation of the body. So it's very active, passive kind of like state, but at the same time, it creates gives our body understanding that I need to relax. I need to let go of the holding of the muscles where I'm holding tension. Allow your breath to slow down. So it's very beautiful. The 5 to 10 minutes of these relaxation practice daily can help you so much. Now, another relaxation, Shavasana, guided relaxation practice is absolutely fantastic. Meditation is another practice which we can bring on board as a relaxation practice. Now, traditionally, the reason for these yoga practices was to move towards enlightenment. Now, this may not be our goal in this modern world, but our modern world, we want to move towards optimal health. And looking at what is enlightenment is basically moving towards our optimal way of living, our optimal reservoir of energy. And so all this creates this beautiful positive energy vibration in our system. So that's what correct yoga practices does. Now, when I say correct yoga practice needs to take us, even though if it is physical movement, it needs to take us from sympathetic mode to parasympathetic mode. So that's what the beauty of yoga practice is. Now, looking back, maybe look at the yoga classes you are attending and see if you are doing that, or if you're not attending yoga classes, see how can you bring in the practices which will give you that kind of moving from sympathetic to parasympathetic mode. Practices like Tai Chi does that, slow moving practices, energy lifting practices does that. Now, relaxation techniques like Shavasana, as I said, you will find amazing Shavasanas, guided meditation practices, and things like that online. You can also go to my website and download 4 meditations. These are designed like there is 10 to 12 minutes meditations, and they are designed to help you to bring the meditation into your day-to-day life. Now, when we bring the practices like meditation and relaxation daily into our life, what it does, it creates a loop in our system that, it constantly gives us, even those 5 to 10 minutes can give us relief from the stress. And it helps us to realize that we don't need to hold this stress. Our system needs to realizes that we don't need to hold this tension in our body. So we start finding that balance of letting go and holding on, So kind of like we understand that when we are holding the stress in our body, and maybe these practices help you to bring that relaxation into your day-to-day life. For example, a lot of time when people come to the yoga classes I offer, they realize that maybe they're holding the tension in certain part of their body. And this is just through the self-observation and self-awareness. It is not pointed out by me or anything. It's just that they realize from their own observation. So self-inquiry is very important in relaxation, on the journey of relaxation. Now, when we realize that, okay, I'm holding tension, say, for example, in my shoulders, or maybe clenching my teeth a lot, or things like that, then how can we now, okay, so understanding we understood that this is happening. Now, what next? So what next is finding relaxation practice that will really work for you. Now, this is very important to understand that we are unique fingerprint of divine. What does that mean is that the practices you will like are going to be very unique to you. So try a few things, see what really works for you, and try and bring that relaxation into your life. What will help with these practices is you will then let go of the things which you are using to numb the stress. Because so addictions and things like that is basically we are trying to numb ourselves from this stress, and we don't want to go there. And that's why these addictions and things like that come into our life. So we are trying to do that. All human beings have positive or negative habits to do that. So why not go towards a positive habit like relaxation to work with these practices? So come back towards what is positive and let go, very slowly let go of these negative practices. So whatever you're going to let go, change that or replace that with something positive which you're going to love. It could be just dance. It could, maybe a dance can help you. Music and dance can help you to relax. And that's a beautiful way. That's you understand that you need to find your own relaxation techniques. Once you found that, now yoga has this amazing pantheon of practices. You can go and find apps or things like that where you can find a lot of meditation, relaxation practices. Yoga Nidra is considered also a really good relaxation practice. It is a Kriya. Kriya means it is a technique which is a little bit advanced, but beginners Yoga Nidra practices are quite good. Yoga Nidra is designed in such a way that it will, we also visualize and we also have sankalpa, that means intention in that, so that practice, and it's quite beautiful. Yoga Nidra can be very, very powerful technique. Savasana can be very powerful. Meditation is amazing. And you can do these practices as regularly as you can. Initially, maybe you can do it 3 days a week and see how this is helping you. See how this is affecting your system. And if you think that it is creating positive effect, increase that. Maybe, before you go to bed, maybe 10 minutes of guided relaxation practice. Something like that. Legs up the wall is quite beautiful way. Legs up. If you don't have wall free, you can do legs up the chair, and all these practices kind of like bring relaxation in our life. Now, if you have high blood pressure, or if you feel any pressure towards your head, then please don't do legs up the wall. But if you don't have high blood pressure, then legs up the wall is quite all right to do. Now, finding relaxation techniques and letting go of stress. Why it is so important? So this is bringing these 5 to 10 minutes relaxation into your life actually changes your chemistry of your brain. It is slow down our brainwave, rejuvenates our brain chemistry, and it gives us calmer state of mind. The mind is constantly wandering, so it relaxes the mind. And when mind relax, it is going to affect our body positively. So it will have that positive effect on that. And this kind of relaxation is quite amazing. It is, this gives us so much to move towards the positive state of our being. And that is it could be a nature walk. You can find like gardening may be relaxing for you, yoga practices, breathing practices, tai chi, qigong. All these practices are really, really beautiful. And this is going to, these 10 minutes, 5 minutes of relaxation practices will help you to increase your productivity. It will help you to enjoy life more. So I highly recommend relaxation, to bring relaxation into your day-to-day life. I hope this podcast is helping you to find maybe ways to bring relaxation into your life. For me, I love meditation, and I have meditation practice in the morning and in the evening, and then yoga practice like asana practice I have, which I do at the end of it. With the relaxation practice, guided relaxation practice. You can do it on, once you learn it, you can guide yourself into relaxation. But I also find that someone else guiding in relaxation is what sometimes I need. So then I will use guided relaxation. Visual, you can also visualize yourself calm in, and you can use that as your meditation practice. And also observing, noticing that your reactions to the stress and how you're holding the stress and anxiety and what are the effects it is having on your system. Regular relaxation practice will also improve your digestion, because what happens that with our digestion is, even though you may be eating really amazing food, but if you are in the state of stress, and if you are in sympathetic mode, then whatever you're eating is not going to be that beneficial for you, even though it is very healthy. So that's why bringing relaxation in our life is very, very beautiful for all our overall health, and it is such a joyful practice. It gives really you so much, and your system will start enjoying the relaxation practice. So bringing relaxation in our day-to-day life will give us a really calm mind. Also, we start creating space in our mind, or at our mental state, where we're creating little bit space to maybe learn new things, reduce anxiety, stress, and bring sense of calm and I'm okay, that state, coming back to that state, that where just few moments of relaxation will give you that sense of being comfortable within yourself, acceptance and love and compassion towards yourself. So many benefits. And now that we know that these are the amazing benefits of relaxation, have you thought about what practices would you like to do? Write down few practices and then try to bring them into your day-to-day life. You may choose more than one practice. You may choose guided relaxation one day, or nature walk the other day, and that's okay. Try and bring the practices which you love, as many practices as possible in your life, so that you can find that relaxation into your day-to-day life. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I really appreciate you being here. And leave a comment or like the podcast. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that you're taking this time out of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye for now.